Welcome to the Criminal Imagination, where the shadows of literature reveal the true architecture of crime and every clue leads deeper into history's untold mysteries. Today, we open a door not to foggy alleys of London or the cobblestone streets of Paris, but to the haunted forests, icy cities, and philosophical minds of Central and Eastern Europe. What if the history of crime fiction didn't begin with post Dupin Collins' labyrinths or the cold logic of Sherlock Holmes? What if it began with existential dread? Let's unravel a different kind of crime story, one where murder is less about mystery and more about meaning. Our first stop, Germany. Before Poe ever penned The Murders in the Rue Morgue, Friedrich Schiller gave us The Criminal from Lost Honor, a tale so strange it defies categorization. It begins like a philosophical essay. Schiller himself, calm, detached, reflects on the nature of crime. But suddenly, without warning, we meet Christian Wolff, a poacher, a murderer, a man descending into crime not for wealth or thrill, but out of something darker: pride, shame, fear. Wolff hijacks the story. His voice grows stronger. Schiller fades. The line between narrator and subject blurs. Soon we are no longer reading a case, we are watching a soul disintegrate. Had it been written a century later, critics say it would be called postmodern crime fiction. Next, we go to Paris through the eyes of a German visionary named E.T.A. Hoffmann, whose work Fräulein von Scudery is not your average whodunit. Set during Louis XIV's reign, Paris is a paranoid city, stalked by jewel thieves with strange precision. But the mystery isn't how, it's why. How do these criminals know who's buying gifts for their lovers? Why are those very men ending up dead? Fräulein Scudery, our reluctant heroine, becomes involved, not as a sleuth, but as voice, a voice of mercy, reason, and poetry. The plot spirals. Real figures mix with fiction. The city becomes a mirror of fear, of justice, of corruption everywhere, of love hunted. And now we turn east. Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment, arguably the greatest crime novel ever written, is not about crime. We know who did it, we know when, how, and why. What we don't know is what happens to the soul after the knife is dropped. Raskolnikov isn't a villain, he's a tortured mind. His act of murder pulls everyone around him, family, lovers, strangers, into a vortex of guilt, philosophy, and madness. Even the detective, Porfiry Petrovich, doesn't solve the crime. He waits, he watches, he probes. He is no Holmes, he is a ghost in the room, calm when everyone else drowns. Dostoevsky didn't invent crime fiction, but he exploded it, turned it into an X-ray machine for the human condition. Then came the satire. Anton Chekhov's The Swedish Match gave us Inspector Dostoevsky, a man obsessed with deduction, logic, and absurdity. He draws massive conclusions from a single foreign matchstick. Sound familiar? Yes. Chekhov was mocking the very structure of post-detective genius. What begins as a revelation turns into a farce. The detective becomes a clown. The truth becomes a joke. A wink at how easily we believe the logical when we see it dressed well enough. In revolutionary Russia, crime fiction took on a new mask. Under the pseudonym Jim Dollar, Marietta Shaginian wrote Messment, Yankees in Petrograd, a detective story infused with communist ideals. Her hero didn't just solve murders, he fought capitalism itself. The mystery became political, subversive, dangerous, and Stalin did not approve. He banned the entire genre, called it decadent fantasy. Meanwhile, in Nazi Germany, the crime genre itself was gutted completely. Anything hinted that crime existed in the Reich was a taboo. Only the children's stories like Emil and the Detectives and fantasy villains like Dr. Mabuse slipped through Goebbels' censorship, quietly speaking truths beneath the surface. And then we have the one final echo. Heinrich Ball's The Lost Honor of Katharina Bloom doesn't ask who done it, it asks, would you have done it too? She confesses. She confesses that she killed the journalist, but the novel turns its gaze towards the reader. Was she wrong? Or was it the system which was more violent than her bullet? Across Central and Eastern Europe, crime fiction didn't begin with detectives and deerstalkers. It began with madness, it began with politics, and it began with conscience. Not all crime stories were designed to be solved, some were meant to haunt. So tell us, what defines a great crime story? Is it the solution or the soul behind the sin? Let us know in the comments below. Your answer might just reveal your criminal imagination. And if you enjoyed this journey through hidden corridors of history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with fellow truth seekers, mystery lovers, and fans of fiction that refuses to behave. Until next time, remember, behind every crime lies a second story, the one we tell to live with it.